Hello. Welcome to formerly Let's Talk History, now Red Light History. I decided to change the name because Let's Talk was just kind of like getting overshadowed by other current events. So I changed it to Let's Talk History because I feel as if it gets more... Not Let's Talk, to Redline, of course, because I like it more and it kind of fits more. So, today I'm going to be talking about helmets from the medieval era, specifically the Great Helm and Sallet. So, shall we begin? So, first up we have my very rusty and cheap Great Helm with the Sallet out of the way. So one thing I want to say about this helmet thing, it was like $30 off Amazon. I got it a few years ago, and it's not the greatest replica. It does. The thing with all medieval armor in classical and Roman is it rusts a lot. You can see a bunch of rust on this because I wasn't able to clean it for a few months because of COVID. So this will have to do. But one thing about this helmet in particular, just as with being I don't know if you can see this. But there's like a mesh similar to like a Stahlhelm in here. And that isn't as historically accurate. What would actually be done, you would wear a cotton coif, similar to this, put it around your head, it's like a little hoodie, you tie it up. And of course you could wear a male coif over this, but you just have this, very hot in the Texas sun, it's like 100 degrees out. But you would then put it on, and there. Now your head is mostly protected. The main issue is though, it's heavy. And my nose is touching the front. Most helmets wouldn't have that, but this particular model does. The issue, one other thing is, visibility is horrendous. I can only see from here to that's all I can see. Just tiny little bit. But what it does trade off with visibility, it does trade off with protection to the head. This helmet it's very popular in culture today as the Crusader helmet, but it would often be worn by knights in a charge. So the knight would be on horseback and have a lance and begin the assault wearing this helmet because it has a lot of frontal protection. I have here a rubber knife. It's rubber. And basically, I don't have a sword with me, but if you pretend this is a sword, it would come, as you're riding on horseback, it comes up and it would deflect off. It's very hard to get into an eye or anything I can't, and it's very good for glancing blows. It comes straight on, it glances off to the side. There are little holes here, but they don't do much. It's mostly there for breathing. The main issue is heads knocks to the side and front. Because, there isn't much metal or open space in between there. It's mostly good for also top-down things. I can kind of hit my head relatively hard there and I don't feel anything. If I did knock my head like that, it would hurt a lot. So, I'm going to take this off. So as I said, it would only normally be worn in charges. It is quite sword-proof. This rust is bad, and it can definitely take a beating. I have gotten hit in the head with this helmet before. There's 2 dents that, would have hurt a lot if they hit my head. Right here, I don't know if you can see that, and in the back here. There it is. Yeah, the one in the back is actually because I fell. Yeah, but I didn't feel anything. So, as you know, because it is 1110 AD, or 11 AD, there has to be your crosses. Very popular with Crusader memes, but otherwise, they're for religious purposes. The crosses are made out of brass, while this helmet itself would be made out of iron. An interesting thing is, of course, they do have the carbonated inside, as it would be, and It is all riveted together, like an actual helmet. There were no screws at that time. There were nails, but they don't work in helmets, so rivets it is. But otherwise, visibility is pretty bad, and that was a major issue. So it was common after an attack that the knight would switch to a nasal helm. I don't have a nasal helm with me, but it is very common, and if you look up a picture of like a Norman, it is probably wearing one. It also kind of looks like a Viking helmet without the horns. Not that Vikings actually had horns, but you get the idea. So, the Great Helm gave way to many other helmet designs, specifically the bassinet. I don't have a bassinet, but it resembles like a rat's head. It probably would be striking fear into your opponent, especially because it's around the time of the Black Death. And, well, plagues are spread by rats. And so if you're on the battlefield and you see like this like rat-looking knight, it would probably be pretty terrifying. But it was very good because its pointed nose would, well, stop incoming arrows or not necessarily shrapnel, but pointy things. So that was later replaced by the Italians with the Sallet. The Sallet is the English word for it. I don't like that this is rusted. I wish it wasn't. But Sallet is the English word. So, normally the Sallet would be... It's a lighter helmet. It's much lighter than the bassinet. I have a Lorica segmentata helmet, or a Gallia helmet, and it's lighter than that. So, the Italians initially invented the Sallet around near Milan and Bologna, but it migrated all over Europe. The English used it, the French used it, and it became extremely popular in Germany. Now, if you look up the stereotype, this helmet is more associated with Germany now than it is its native country of Italy. This right here that I have is a more Italian style. It's more rounded, as you can see. And the thing in the back does not drape that far. It's very close and tight. It has a visor that can lift up, as you can see, and it would sit right happily on your head. I would have to say, though, visibility out of this is definitely going to be worse than the other one. But, as you can see, it has very curved edges, can deflect incoming pointy things. Even if, a sword were to go this way, right in there and get nudged, it would have to go sideways, and if it did that, you're probably meant to die anyway. So, one issue is if I put it on my head, as I shall demonstrate by putting the coif back on, put it on, well, we have an issue because, well, the bottom part of my chin is exposed. So, there is a solution. I should also note, I personally have this belt that I will put around the helmet because for some reason my helmet will not stick properly, and I find it easier just to have this belt on. There we go. Now, how historically this is, I bet this happened because helmets are made wrong all the time. It just doesn't have the right grip right here on the thing. But if I put it on, what am I doing? So, normally to protect your chin, you would have a mail coif or a chain mail. Or you could have a solid thing called a bever. This goes right on your chin like this, as I shall demonstrate. So, this is on. Note it would be sitting more up like this. So then the helmet goes on. Okay. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me, but visibility now is non-existent. I can probably see these are my peripherals. I cannot see any more than this. Not see the table. Cannot see any higher than this. So, find my knife, here it is. So, once again, rubber knife, don't use a real knife, it would be very bad. This design has very sloping, very angular, is very good at stopping projectiles. As like, let's say, this is an arrow. Let's just say that. Comes in and it would slide and glide off. I would be wearing a cuirass and it might go on my arm, but if it hit like here, it would go up. Hitting the top of your arm is better than hitting your neck. Also, from the top, somebody tries taking a blow like this, glides off. Just little horn here, good. Flex the sword down onto your cuirass. Yeah, it would hurt, but you're still alive. One thing is though, it's incredibly hard to breathe in. Now I know medieval battles don't normally happen in the middle of central Texas, but I would imagine that if you're surrounded, if you're in Italy and you're surrounded by a bunch of other soldiers, you're on horseback, it's going to get pretty hot. But anyway, so this helmet is quite good. Also from the back, has this long sloping bit right here. Germans and Gothic knights just love, they make theirs very big. They will extend way out in the back. While the Italians have more of like a smaller sized tail thing. Now, this helmet was extremely popular and very, very good. Practically everybody in Germany at the time had one. It was, once again, relatively popular in Italy, but, well, with the advent of the gun, modern warfare was coming and it wasn't going to be as simple just sword fighting. One thing to note about this helmet, though, is it is extremely good. It has all-around head protection and really just keeps the head in there. Your head can jostle around, but the bever keeps it, well, all right. And, well, it later became direct influence of the Stahlhelm. I have a Stahlhelm. It's not with me at the current moment, but you can kind of see a resemblance here. Now, granted, this is an Italian one, but Germans are a bit more kind of slanted and angular down on the sides. Especially if you have one without a visor, which is very common for archers and crossbowmen. Now, if you know a little bit of the Stahlhelm and the modern combat helmet, you will know this, but that also means that it directly is responsible for the modern combat helmet. And, well, you can see some similarities in just general shape. And, well, that's why the Sallet is widely known today. It is firefighters wear helmets extremely similar to it. And, well, it really is just a good design. So, yeah. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. We are now Red Line History, not Let's Talk History, but we are still the same thing. If I say Let's Talk History, just ignore that. And, well, yeah, so now that I don't have COVID and my arm hasn't fallen off, I'm going to be making more uploads again. I have some ideas planned for gauntlets and Roman armor, and we'll see how those go. So, yeah, please like and subscribe as I've said before. Yeah. Thank you for watching.